Hello everyone, welcome back to another conversation session with me. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up a topic and I'm going to speak about it. This time I'm going to simplify things for you. I'm going to speak about its vocabulary first related to the topic. Then I'm going to tell you how you can speak on that topic, and I'm going to divide it into 2-3 questions or sections which will be much easier for you to relate to and understand and start talking about on that topic. On that note, welcome back to Discover and Learn. I'm your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, quickly subscribe my channel for all kinds of conversational videos, practice sessions, vocabulary sessions, pronunciation sessions, and lots more. Do press the notification icon so that you get all my videos on time, free of cost. And like and share my videos and write your comments in the comment section below. Well, today I thought of taking up this topic which is very relevant nowadays. We all talk about it, or we all get opportunity to speak about it on this topic. So this is a very common topic. And what you can do is you can speak with me, you can repeat after me, you can shadow with me, you can take my idea and you can speak on it, you can have your own ideas and you can speak on it. So you can do a lot of things, guys, and you can practice in different ways. This will help you to get fluent in speaking in English on any topic and every topic. And always try taking up topics which are really common, basic, and used every day in your conversations. Those topics, if you start speaking on, it will be much easier for you to speak in English with anyone, anywhere, anytime. So let's get started. Today I'm going to talk about job. I'm going to talk about jobs or work. So we all do something or the other every day. We all work. So how do we describe our work? How do we talk about work with people in English? Okay, so I'm going to talk about vocabulary first in the first part. Vocabularies which are related to job or work. Okay, the first thing is that different kinds of jobs available in the market, right? So we need to know that vocabulary first. What different profession means or what different professions are called. Like if you have any problem with your teeth, you have to go to a dentist. If you want to write a code or come up with an app, you have to go to a software developer. If you want to get your fridge or TV or any electrical appliances fixed, you have to go to an electrician or a plumber or a architect or a physician, etc., etc. The lots of professions which have different names. So first and the foremost thing, I'm not going to describe the whole thing here. So your task is you have to go back and check and get to know those words, those vocabulary related to different fields regarding profession. So if you get to know all those things, if you start looking at it, you will get to know a lot of different professions, right? So that is the first thing you have to do. The next one is when you apply for a job or you start looking for a job, which means you are unemployed. Okay, and you're looking for an employment. So unemployed, which means you don't have a job. You're looking for an employment, which means you're looking for a job, right? Then the next thing comes your resume. The next vocabulary is resume or your CV, right? Which you have to prepare to send it to the HR professionals or send it to the company for the job. Okay, now comes the job description. When you get to know about an opportunity, that is a job opening. You come across any job opening, then you come across the job description, which is written in the email or wherever you have found it. So it is written there. So there is a job description. Okay, and then you send your resume. Then you are shortlisted, right? You're shortlisted for the job. Then you get an interview call or your interview is scheduled, right? So you go for a face-to-face interview. Then you are selected. After selection, you get a job offer. or an appointment letter, right? So these are the vocabularies related to the job or employment or work. Now, once you receive a job offer or once you receive an appointment letter, you are employed. You join the company. Once you join the company, it means you are hired. You are hired by the company and you become an employee, and the company is your employer. Okay, so employee, employer. You have colleagues or co-workers with you in your team or in the company. So you have colleagues or co-workers. So these are the vocabulary which is used to describe a job. You will have a team lead, you will have a manager, supervisor. Now, the employment can be full-time employment or part-time employment, or we call it, we have flexi time or flexible. The shift is flexible. Okay, so we have to complete 9 hours. We can take any time of the day, we can complete the 9 hours. So it is flexible. Then after a month, you get a salary, remuneration. You get a salary or remuneration or paycheck. And then during increments or appraisal season, you get a pay raise or a hike, which is called appraisal. You get a promotion also in your job. Okay, so these are some of the vocabularies which are related to a job. So while speaking, while you are entering a professional life, you need to know all these terms. These are very basic, very general, very common terms. Profession is another term, right? So these are all vocabulary related to job or work or any employment. Okay, so you have to remember all these words. If at all, in whatever I've spoken, whatever words I've spoken, if you don't know the meaning of it, please look in the dictionary and get the meaning. It's very easy, very simple. I don't think you need any dictionary for that. But if in case you don't understand any word, you can just look up to the dictionary and understand. Okay. Coming to the next part is, now since we know the vocabulary, now let's talk a bit about a job or our profession or our work. This is the second part. So the first question which we need to answer is, where do you work? Now, how do we answer this question? We can answer it in 4 different ways. We can start with I work in, I work with, I work at, and I work for. This is how you start giving the answer. Now, I'll tell you one by one how you can answer this. I work at or I work for, you can name the company here. I work at Infosys. I work at Tech Mahindra, or I work for Axis Bank. Okay, so this is very clear. Next one is I work in. I work in an office. I work in an IT industry. I work in a manufacturing sector. I work in a school. I work in a college. I work in a factory. I work in banking domain. Right, so this is how you answer I work in. Or I work in India. I work in United States. I work in London. You can add this also. You can say this also. Okay, so it's basically a place, city or country or any department. You can talk. I work in finance domain. I work in retail domain. Okay, so this is how you answer I work in. You can either speak about a place or a city or country or any department or a general area or industry, like I work in consulting or medical research or medical field. Okay, so this is also you can say. Another one is I work with. Here we can just add things or people which are objects of your day-to-day work. To describe the day-to-day work, you can just talk about I work with people or objects. So I work with computers. I work with students. I work with numbers or data. So these things you can talk about what you usually do. You work with every single day. So it might be people or anything which you work with. Okay. Or there's another way. If you want to add more details to your answer, you can always say I am responsible for, or I am in charge of. My job involves. So I'm responsible for taking care of recruitment process. of the company. I am in charge of interviewing candidates for the job, or I am in charge of shortlisting the candidates for interview. My job involves interacting with people. So this is how we talk about where do you work. So we can just review it a bit. I work at Infosys. I work for Axis Bank. I work in India, or I work in HR department, or I work in software domain. Okay, this is how we can say. I work with computers, or I work with students, or I work with professionals. Okay, so this is how you can talk about where do you work. Or else you can say I am responsible for software development. I am in charge of the HR department, or my job involves hiring people for the company. Okay, so these are the ways in which we can talk about our job. What do we do? Okay, so when people ask what do you do, or what do you do for a living, you can start with I am a teacher, I am a consultant, I am an accountant, I am a salesperson. Okay, so you can start with this as well, and then you can further add that I work with this so-and-so company, and then you can add I am responsible for this task, or my job is to do this. Okay, so you can keep on adding, building up. If you are self-employed, if you have your own company, you can always say I'm self-employed, I own a small business, I own a restaurant, or I own a graphic design company, or a software company, or a manufacturing company, whatever you want to. Okay, so this is how you describe if you have your own business or you're self-employed. Now coming to the last part, so you have to add a little more description about the job. How you will do that? So you can talk about whether you like the job or not, or do you like your job? Okay, we can answer this question in order to describe our job. My job is very interesting or very exciting, or you can say I find my work very rewarding, or you can say my work is quite challenging, the work is quite tough or tiring or demanding, or you can say the work is quite boring, repetitive, monotonous, or dull. I don't enjoy my work. You can say in this way also. Okay, so these are some of the ways you can describe your job with the question, do you like your job? You can say in these different ways. There's one more term which I forgot to mention in the vocabulary section, which is to quit the job, or to resign, or to get laid off. These are also very much popular nowadays. You know, company do fire employees, they lay off their employees, which means they cut down the strength of the employee, they ask them to leave. Okay, so people get laid off, people are fired from the company, they are asked to leave from the company. And the other case for the employee is they can resign, they can leave the job, and they can quit the job. So you can say I want to quit my job, or I'm going to quit my job, I want to quit my job, or I'm going to leave my job, or I'm going to resign, or I'll resign from my job. Okay, so these are the ways which you can talk about leaving the job. Okay, these things are also very common in industry nowadays, so we have to take care of this as well. We have to take a note of these things as well. So guys, I'm sure this was very easy for you to understand how you can talk about your job. If people ask you what do you do, or where do you work, or what is your work like, so you can just describe it in detail like this. Okay, with the help of this vocabulary, you can describe, and the sentences which I've said, you can start using these formats and make your own sentences to describe your own job. So guys, that's the end for today. I'll see you in my next session. Until then, keep learning, keep watching, keep speaking, keep practicing, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.